Hello everybody, welcome to Nature Calls. Anthony here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you 10 things that really stood out to me as a new Tesla owner. So this is my Model Y, and I'm going to tell you 10 things that I think are really cool about it. So the first thing on my list is, well, probably a lot of people's first on their list. That is the acceleration of this vehicle. It is so fast. It's pretty wild. You wouldn't expect something, to move that quickly, especially for, I guess the price tag. I think something would be much more expensive for how quick this thing goes. The other cool thing though is when you go and brake. Well, you can technically regen brake, so you can just let your foot off the accelerator and the regen braking kicks in and you get some miles back, you get some range back on your car, and that is something that you do not experience on a gas-powered vehicle. Usually you would have to let off the gas and then proceed to hit the brake immediately, especially if you wanted to stop. Well, with a Tesla and with an electric car, you can just let your foot off lightly and you can use that regen braking to slow down your car without having to use the brakes as often. Another really cool thing about this car is the navigate on autopilot. So I can put in my destination and I can go hit twice down on my stock here and I can have it go navigate on autopilot and basically drive me 90+% of the way. There's little things obviously that the car can't do yet, but overall 90% of the time it's got you covered. And that just makes driving for long trips so much better in my opinion. We're already taking it to 2 road trips and it's definitely made the driving experience of the trip way better. Now, with those long road trips, it pays to have a nice comfy seat, and boy oh boy are the seats comfy in the Model Y. I'm assuming that the 3, the S, and the X are just as comfy because, why wouldn't they be? So with that really adds to the experience of the car. I've driven a lot of other vehicles. I rent vehicles all the time for business trips. So I've probably driven like 50 vehicles or so far in my lifetime, maybe even more. And honestly, these are the most comfy seats that I have experienced so far. If that changes, I'll let you know. Another thing that's really cool about Teslas and the Model Y is the fact that I can control the whole car from these 2 stalks here and from the screen. This stalk here on the right hand side of the car gives me my reverse, my neutral, my drive. It lets me put it into basically cruise control or the autopilot where the car is steering and driving itself, on navigation or not, depending on what you want to do. I can also put the parking brake on and put it into park, all with 1 stalk. That's pretty wild. On the other side, I have my turn signals, my windshield wipers. I have a button to hit the windshield wiper fluid, and that's just on 2 stalks. And then you have the screen that controls the rest. I think it's so much more intelligent and integrated than, again, any of those 50 cars that I have driven before. And some of them weren't half bad cars. I've driven fully loaded Malibus, fully loaded Impalas, fully loaded Terrains and Torrents, like a lot of fairly high-end cars. I know they're not quite the price point of this, but I've also sat in people's, decked out Cadillacs and Escalades and things like that. Yet, this is far superior in terms of how it's intelligently designed and just how you interact with it. It just makes a lot more sense for some reason, and it would be very difficult to go back to a car that has a ton of buttons and knobs and doesn't have a nice screen that has everything laid out just the way you kind of would want it. And the fact that you can customize that too makes it even better. While we're talking about this screen, this car has up to 16 driver profiles available. We don't have that many driver profiles because we just don't have that many drivers that I'm going to just give access to my car. There is a little valet key that you can give to people that you don't want them to have a profile, which makes perfect sense, but there are a select few people that get full access to this car, and it's cool that you can give it up to 16 people. And that's something that I don't think you can find on other cars. Maybe there is. I know some cars do have like seating, like seat configuration settings, but the most I've ever seen personally has been like 4. So 16 is a lot, and you have to have an awfully big family or a lot of relatives you actually like to use all of those settings and all those, you know, profile preferences. Another thing that's amazing about Teslas, look at this roof. It is so cool that they have a one-piece glass and it just spans the entire roof. It gives kind of the passengers like the best seat in the house, and that's something that you just don't find on other cars. Now, at one point we did own a Pontiac G6 with the full panoramic sunroof, so it was kind of like this, but the panels actually unfolded. Very cool, but also kind of sketchy, and that car ended up actually being a lemon, which is intriguing. But this, since it's nice solid glass, you don't have to play with motors and things sliding correctly and it actually sealing, so you get most of the benefits of a sunroof without it just opening, which is good because they end up leaking anyway, which causes more hassle. Now this is a first for me, maybe it's not for everybody else, but it's really cool when you get into the back seat of the Model Y. It actually has a button here that of course lets the seat fold down, but if you're sitting in the seat and you hit it, reclining back seats. What is this, a Rolls Royce? I feel like that is very classy for a car of this caliber, and it's definitely not something that I have seen on other vehicles, and I think that's a big plus because it just gives extra room and extra space and convenience to you know, the people sitting in the back row. It also lets you get a little bit more room out of your trunk if you need to put the seats up a little bit to, you know, make that happen. Okay, so the last thing is kind of a 2-in-1 because you got the Tesla app and you can control the whole car basically from this app, including to summon it. I don't have that enabled personally because I don't know if I'm quite ready for that, but we can go and pop the front trunk, rear trunk I mean, and have that open up. And inside here is a ton of space, which leads into the next point. Look at all this space. Unbelievable amounts of space. We can hit the button again. We can close it. We can go around the car and we can pop the frunk. And not only can we control that from the app, but look, we got all this space as well. Pretty wild, pretty amazing. And it's just great that you can do all of this with an app and you get all the space in this vehicle. You can also do other things like honk the horn, flash the lights. You can start it up and you can set your climate where you want. You can go into charging and you can have the charge port open with your phone and start charging. You can close the charge port. It's like a giant RC car controlled with your cellular device. That is really awesome. Alright, so that is 10 things I really enjoy on the Model Y as a new Tesla owner. Let me know in the comments section if there's something that you like about your Tesla that's just amazing or that surprised you. Even if I covered it here, I would really like to hear what other people's thoughts are on their car. It doesn't have to be the Y, it can be the 3, it could be the S, it could be the X, it could even be the Roadster if you happen to be one of the few that actually has one of those. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I enjoyed sharing this 10 things with you, and I'll catch you guys next time. So please like and subscribe, and as always, have an excellent day.